Printing a new you. I mean, it sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, right? But 3D biofabrication is actually making it happen. So today, we're going to dive into how scientists are literally printing living organs and, what that really means for all of us. Just think about this for a second. What if, instead of waiting on a donor list or getting some kind of metal or plastic replacement part, your doctors could just print you a new one? A living part made from your own cells that your body would just accept and even help grow. That is the incredible, almost unbelievable promise of bioprinting. And look, this isn't some distant, far-off dream. The researchers on the front lines of this stuff, they're already calling it a paradigm shift. So let's take a look at what they've actually built that makes this whole wild idea feel so real. Okay, so what they've made is this absolutely revolutionary heart valve. It's 3D printed, so it's a perfect custom fit for each patient. And get this, it's delivered through a catheter, so no massive open heart surgery. But here's the truly magical part. It's made from a material that the body just absorbs over a few months. And as it dissolves, it acts like a scaffold, basically telling the body, hey, grow your own new tissue right here. It's amazing. That heart valve is just mind-blowing. But it brings up a huge question. How in the world do you print with actual living cells? Well, the real secret isn't the printer, it's the ink. Yeah, this is definitely not the ink you have in your desk printer. Bio-ink is this incredibly complex cocktail. It starts with a patient's own cells, which are then mixed into a special gel. That gel does everything. It gives it structure, it protects the delicate cells during the printing process, and it feeds them. It's a scaffold, a nutrient bath, and a shield, all rolled into one. And the process itself is actually pretty logical when you break it down. First, you need a blueprint. So you use scans like an MRI to create a super precise 3D model. Then, the bioprinter gets to work, laying down that bio-ink, layer by tiny layer, building up the structure. And finally, and this is the crucial part, that freshly printed piece goes into a bioreactor. That's basically a device that mimics the human body, letting it mature into fully functional tissue. And that's really the ultimate goal here. We're not just talking about replacement parts that are, a good enough fit. The whole point is to create these perfect, patient-specific structures made from their own cells that can live and grow and function just like the original ever did. Okay, the technology it's incredible, there's no doubt about it. But I have to jump in here, because the power of this transformative really forces us to ask some tough questions. Just because we can do this, does it mean we should? Printing human tissue really opens up a Pandora's box of ethical challenges we have to face, and we have to face them now. So let's just start with the biggest, bluntest question of all. Who gets to live forever? I mean, if we can just start replacing old organs with new, freshly printed ones, are we stumbling towards some kind of technological immortality? And more importantly, who's going to get access to it? This really goes way beyond medicine. It's a huge question about what's fair.
And that one big question, it just spiders out into all these other critical concerns. Affordability is, of course, the first huge one. Then you've got this really blurry line between what's therapy and what's human enhancement. Where do we stop? And then there are the risks of exploitation and the massive, massive challenge of regulating a living product to make sure it's safe. You can see how quickly this gets complicated.
And that worry about affordability? It is not just some abstract concern. I mean, just look at these numbers. A bioprinter alone can set you back up to $300,000. But the real jaw-dropper is the bio-ink. It can cost up to $100,000 for a single gram. These are not prices that an average person or even an average hospital can just cover. So the takeaway here is pretty stark. If we don't start planning for fairness right now, bioprinting isn't going to be some great equalizer for health. It's going to become the ultimate luxury good. We could end up in a world where the wealthy can literally buy healthier, longer lives, making that gap between the haves and the have-nots wider than ever before. Now, these challenges are definitely daunting, but they're not entirely new. The good news is we might not be starting from scratch. We can actually look to other recent biotech revolutions to find a possible roadmap for how to handle this incredibly powerful new tool responsibly. So, think about the rise of synthetic DNA. Here's a technology with enormous benefits, right? But it also comes with some pretty significant security risks. Society had to figure out how to encourage all that amazing innovation while building in guardrails to prevent misuse. Sound familiar? It's pretty much the same challenge we're facing now. And this is the conclusion a lot of experts have come to. This analysis from the UK shows a really clear difference between voluntary, please do the right thing safeguards and mandatory ones. You can see it right here. The voluntary path, it leaves all these vulnerabilities open. The mandatory path, though, that provides real security with benefits that far, far outweigh the cost. And this isn't just a theory. As you can see here, detailed, practical frameworks for this kind of regulation already exist. They lay out all the steps, covering everything from how to roll it out in phases to getting different countries to cooperate. The blueprint for responsible innovation, it's already there for us to use. So the lesson here is crystal clear, and it is so important. The time to talk about the rules, about the ethics, about access, it's not after a technology is already everywhere. The time is now, while it's still emerging. We have this golden opportunity to build the ethical framework right alongside the scientific one. So you've got this incredible, jaw-dropping scientific progress on one hand, and on the other, these really urgent ethical guardrails that we have to build. And the thing is, the pace of innovation is only getting faster, which means our conversation about it needs to speed up too. And the acceleration really is just incredible. Look at this timeline. We go from the basic idea of 3D printing in 1984 to actually printing living cells in 2003. Just a few years later, it starts to become a commercial thing. And today we're developing organs that can literally regenerate inside the human body. The leap forward in just a few decades it's astonishing. And this brings us right to the heart of it all. It's really two sides of the same coin. On one side, you have this immense promise, custom cures for diseases, maybe ending organ wait lists forever, and helping us all live longer, healthier lives. But on the other side, there's the peril, making inequality even worse, running into safety risks we can't even predict, and crossing some really profound ethical lines. Both of these are very real possibilities from the exact same technology. Ultimately, the technology itself is neutral. It offers us a pathway to some unbelievable cures. So the real question isn't if we should innovate, but how we should innovate. Can we actually design a future that embraces this incredible science, but is also fair and just for everyone? That's the real challenge ahead of us.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. It really helps the channel grow. See you in the next video.